I'd like to say thanks, Max Gaming TV, for the comment. Appreciate that, friend. So, as I said to you, ladies and gentlemen, do not worry about that other gentleman that is just going on rants. And I know, mind you, I keep saying this to you guys last night. Please, one last time. I see your messages, your Instagram, your Facebook messages. Yeah, I know he is just ranting, making videos ranting. Because, mind you, he has nothing better else to do. Like I said, everyone. He is not who he say he is, but I'm the one with the New York City license credential. Mind you that. I have a New York City press pass, which means video and photography. Keep that in mind. The city of New York gave it to me for a reason. There's a qualification process. Did you know that, ladies and gentlemen? You have to qualify in order to get a New York City press ID, and those are not easy to come by in New York City. So I explained this already, and this is why you should pay attention to more of what I'm saying to you than what he is saying to you. He's just going on a rant. He has nothing else better to do but rant about another man. So, ladies and gentlemen, please don't pay attention to him. He's just a loser. He's not a filmmaker. He never will be. He's pretending. And his followers, so you can support him. Guess what? Guess what's going to happen? His videos have been copyright strike taken out because he's using content and copyright, mind you, images that don't even belong to me. Like I said, my headshot doesn't belong to me. My portrait belongs to a photographer named Clayton Dewey. He has all the rights to that photograph. So, with that said, everyone, please, no more of the messages, no more of the emails. But I want to say thank you to Max TV once again, man. Thank you for stopping by and watching my videos and telling me how awesome my videos are. I appreciate that, friend. But we are in the subway, and it's raining outside. It's been raining all night. So, haven't been really getting any sleep. Like I said, everyone, back to the grind, man. Back to the hustle. I was in the hustle a few days. I had to rest my body. So, I want to say thank you again to Michael, Collins, and Phil for that. Seriously. Thank you, Alicia, for the food donations. You know, I appreciate that too. So, but other than that, everyone, just in the subway right now. And, taking a moment and making sure that you understand that, like, this is important. Guys, you can clearly hear me, but what I don't understand is that why would someone like him, obviously, ladies and gentlemen, because someone pointed this out, like, and I was saying, explain it to this person. I think it was Scott, right? I was talking about Scott last night. Scott was pointing out certain things. So I was telling him, like, he's using another device because his account has already been blocked. He's using another device to watch my videos to another Google account. And this is why I'm telling everyone that he can't comment on my videos because he's blocked. He's watching the videos to another ransom anonymous account. So with that said, there's nothing you can do. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, this is how he's watching the content, and the rest of the other people that have been watching the content. But then again, it could be that YouTube's block system is not working properly either. So it could be, like I said, YouTube has bugs. But like I said, everyone, yes, I know it's hurting me, it's damaging, but don't worry about it. Trust me. Trust me when I tell you, legally, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So everyone, good morning. Sunday morning, which is the roughest day of the week. This is where not a lot of businesses donate food to the donation community page. So today, I'm going to be reaching out to the businesses and see if they have any food so I can give to the people of the community. today I'm going to be going to Partners and Topia Bagels to see if they have any food or bagels left over, so I can donate that to the community refrigerator so other people can eat. So, because Sundays and Mondays are probably the worst days for, trying to find food for donations for people in the city of New York. Not every food pantry is open on Sundays and Mondays. So, and if you do have to go to a food pantry, you have to travel very far. And that is a $2.90 transportation on this subway system. But anyway, yesterday I made a video while I was on a city bus. Mind you, I don't like taking city buses, but I had no choice to take a city bus because the G line is out of order. They are making repairs and improving the track line. Apparently, they're adding cell phone service to the G line service. So therefore, there's always cell phone service inside the New York City subway tunnels. And currently, there's no cell phone signals in the subway tunnels. So they are installing subway cell phone towers in the subway, and one of those lines is going to be the G line that's going to be receiving it first. So yeah, and then other stations like this station will receive it. But like I was telling you guys, you see this tunnel that goes all the way to Manhattan? Mind you, this is the last stop. This is the first and last stop in Queens. The next stop is in Manhattan. In order to construct and structurally build cell phone towers in the tunnel, they have to find the space for it and must communicate, because there might be some interference. Maybe the trains are causing interference. It could. Magnetic pulsion might be a problem. Communications. It could be another factors. So this is why tests needs to be done. So yes, they are installing subway towers in the subways for better safety, for 911 purposes, for people in the subways, for commuters that need to take the subway. If things happen in the subway, they can call 911, and 911 can respond much faster to the scene. Because last year and the year before that, we had stabbings, we had shootings, we had robberies, and we had the migrant issue in the subway. We had the ransom drug robberies. Even I was a victim a few times in the subway and got arrested for beating up 2 Mexican dudes for trying to rob me. And that didn't make any sense. And even the judge drew my case. I was like, sir, you have no outstanding warrants, no, nothing. I have nothing. And the judge just threw my case out. Mind you, on the first go. Because, mind you, I had a lawyer present, an attorney to defend, because officer said that I was a bit of an aggressive, and mind you, they said it was assault, because I was aggressive. Because these men had injuries and I didn't. Well, I did have injuries, but listen, man, like, when you know martial arts and you know how to fight, and someone's trying to rob you for your camera equipment, you do what you can to protect yourself. Am I right or wrong? Ain't no cops gonna save me in the next 5 seconds. There's no police officers in the subway, as you can see. There's no patrol. This is why they're gonna install those cell phone towers in the subway. And mind you, there used to be a police booth right there at the end of this tunnel. They took that out. So, with that said, everyone, the subway is not a very safe environment at times. Sometimes it can be polluted. Sometimes people are rude. Like yesterday, people were rude. But as you saw yesterday, I took a city bus. I wanted to just live stream the city bus activity. And now you understand why I don't want to take the city bus. Not only it just delays your time frame, but it's a much slower process in trying to get to where you need to be. I would never take a bus across town because it's too slow. And mind you, on the train coming from Long Island to Bushwick, I can get to Bushwick in like 5, 7, 8 minutes. But it should never take you more than 40 minutes on a bus to get to Bushwick. Maybe even more than that. I don't know. But we got off at Nassau Avenue, as you saw yesterday's video, while we were on the bus. And I want to point certain things out on that bus. One, if you look at the video very closely, you see that people don't like to move on the bus, even though there was space in the back of the bus. People want to just block the front entry. And that is an issue on city buses. People do not know how to move so others can sit properly or stand properly. Not only that, did anyone notice that the elderly that was, mind you, the senior citizen that was standing in the video, no one offered her the handicap accessibility, which is state law. It is state New York City law, ladies and gentlemen. You have to give up your seat to a senior citizen, especially if you are in the priority sitting area. You young people have to get your asses up and give that seat to that senior citizen. How disrespectful and non-American and non-New Yorkish you are. I just want people to pay attention to the video. Watch the video carefully. Just watch it. That woman should not be standing up. She's a senior citizen, but that's okay. That's okay. Because she was brave enough to do it. You did not see her get an attitude about being seated, even though it's her disability rights. Because mind you, this is the Disability Act that Congress passed. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know about the Disability Act, you should. Each country has its own Disability Act. But like I said, New York City also has a Disability Act. You have to give up your seat. So with that said, everyone, this is why I don't like taking the bus. Not only sometimes people are rude on the bus, but people don't have good manners or gestures, or don't think ahead. Mind you, they don't think outside the box for other people. And that is the problem. You have to think outside the box for other people and yourself. Therefore, you'll learn something when you think outside the box for yourself and other people. And I say this because if you think about other people other than yourself, you become a stronger person. You might not be invincible, but you become a stronger mentally person. But this is also going to help you with your mental health. This is going to also guide you in your mental health. You can literally be honest with your audience and tell people, like, listen, I want to talk about my mental health. Is that okay with you? Without you judging me. But like I said earlier in this video, you got this guy over here, over the pond, judging people based on homelessness, skin color, race, but he's not bilingual. He doesn't speak another language. He doesn't speak several languages like I can do. He can't read and write another language like I can. And as I want to say this again, I am a fucking reward filmmaker. Not a national fake filmmaker. Go to my website, ladies and gentlemen, ThePandaPhotographer.com. I've been in 3 film festivals and won those rewards. Personally. I have a New York City credential identification, ladies and gentlemen, that proves. And this is why everyone in the city is like, how you get one of those, bro? That shit is difficult. Ask any photographer in the city. Ask any filmmaker in the city, like, yo, man, those are kind of pain in the ass to get. How the hell did you do it? I did the work. I literally did the work. So the city, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to recap how I got this press pass, the city on November 22nd, right? This is where I had my iPhone and just a simple gimbal, right? This is where, ladies and gentlemen, remember, this is winter of 2027. This is my first year now being homeless in New York City. I'm still working on getting my passports, my birth certificate, my social security number. This is the time where my Canadian neighbor in the month of April donated $5,000 to my GoFundMe because mind you, it was owed to me, basically. So, ladies and gentlemen, I took that money, got my first passport, got the second passport, but I had to wait for the second passport 2 months. Remember that. Go back in my videos. You see how they counseling? The embassy was like, you're going to have to wait 2 months because I didn't want to spend, mind you, I even spent the 550 euros for my EU passport. So keep that in mind. I spent that much to recover the passport. I spent another $440 for the US passport. Then I had to spend, $55 on the birth certificate? And then, mind you, they had to mail it to somewhere. So I had to also find a mailing address in New York City, which I didn't have a mailing address. And at that time, I wasn't talking to no rollerbladers. I wasn't talking to anyone. I tried to figure out, how am I going to get all these documents sent to me without an address? And this is where Michael Collins came out of nowhere, and David Oyster. David Oyster is an Australian. He's a photographer. He's been following me for a long time, since what, 2013, 2012? He can testify, like, I'm a good guy. I supported him, he supported me, and he's one of my favorite photographers. Oh, mind you, he's one of the photographers I can literally tell you guys that I wish he was my father. He's a good man. Really a good man. So they decided to come join forces to give me money to get a P.O. box in New York City. But that's the thing. To get a P.O. box, you need 2 separate identifications. This is why I have 2 passports, everybody. And see, when you do government issue, see, the thing is that the United States Postal Service is a federal facility, okay? So if you want your passport, you got to, mind you, if you're American and you need a passport, you have to show proof of 2 different sets of IDs. You got to show Latinity. You got to show everything, proof of your current living address within the last 3 months. The government is just picky like that. They literally will pick at you if you make one mistake on your passport application. Sunday, it's the morning rush hour. Got some homeless sleeping. Got some homeless people sleeping in the subway. Got another homeless guy sleeping in the subway. Like I said, everyone is homeless in New York City. Everyone. This guy probably works at a bakery. He's homeless. So back to what I was telling you guys. So I couldn't even get a P.O. box at the time. Wasn't able to get a P.O. box. So how I got my mail was, I didn't notice at the time, but when I went to the United States Immigration Office, they said, like, I could either get the mail here, and I was like, oh, can I get the mail here? Can I get it delivered here and I can just pick it up? And that's when I was informed. And mind you, this is when I remember when I was in Chicago, when I needed to get, mind you, when I had an issue with my passport. I had to get an emergency passport. Because, like, and mind you, that was issued in 1 day, but I had to pay that $400 fee. So, yeah, so in that September, I received the passports. I received the birth certificate in November. This is where, in November, I went down to the Thanksgiving, and before I did that, I confirmed with the NYPD. I confirmed, ladies and gentlemen, listen to what I'm telling you. I confirmed with the NYPD before I went to the parade. I spoke to a captain. When I got down there, the captain was like, I say, are you Captain blah, blah, blah? He said, yes. And I said, cool, I'm the Panda Photographer. Oh, I got your email. Cool. Hey, man, you can stay right here. You can walk this block. Mind you, we were live streaming it. And then another captain comes along and just, like, decides to, like, boot me out. Because I didn't have the New York City credential pass that I was supposed to have. He didn't want to go by my old credentials when I was working for the studio in Wisconsin. He didn't want to do any of the work. Mind you, even though at the time, true to who I was, he says, I can't let you on the floor. So I was upset. I made a video about it. I kind of rant on that video. And that's when NYPD responded to that video. And it responded, remember everybody, remember this? Go back. Go to November 22 Thanksgiving video. And then after that, watch the rant video as we're walking to the subway. That's the video that NYPD was watching. And they apologized for the misunderstanding and confusion. And that's when they said, hey, we got an even better offer for you. We do not offer this to certain people unless they're working for the city or working with New York City films. But we want to offer you this. This is when I took the opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, and I read through what they were offering. I said, oh, a New York City press credential pass. That means I can go to City Hall, cover the mayor's bullshit. I can go to the governor's house to cover the government's bullshit. I can go anywhere in the city that has city press, legal city press access, period. Which I should be doing that. But I don't want to cover it in the media because I don't want my channel to be flooded with politician bullshit these days, as you can see. But yes, like I said, like yesterday, there were 2 assassinations. Country's on a blink. So I'm just telling you guys, like, when I received the New York City press pass, I was happy, but I put in the work. Now, they asked for 7 projects, but I gave them 15. Yeah, they asked for 7 projects, so I gave them 15. So if you want to know how to get one of these New York City press passes, just contact NYPD. But keep this in mind, you will have to go do a background check. Yes, you will have to go do a felony background check. In order to contain this ID, you cannot have any felonies. Okay? They're gonna ask you on the application, and they're gonna check. So don't be stupid. Don't be an idiot. They're going to check and see you have a criminal record and a felony. If you do, they're probably going to disqualify because you can use this identification to commit fraud, burglary, identity theft, you can be posing as a police officer with this kind of information. This is why when I get on the train with my pass and with my yellow jacket, people are intimidated because they know that I'm working for that I'm contributing to NYPD. These people, native New Yorkers, know when they see that New York City press pass, they're like, oh, he a snitch for NYPD. I was like, really? That's how I found out, like, yeah. Some people in the hood said that's a snitch for NYPD. I didn't know that until, like, what is it, like 6 months ago? Yeah, I didn't know that until 6 months ago. Mind you, I've been having this pass for the last 3 years, since 2023. So almost 2.5 years. So, ladies and gentlemen, take everything what I'm saying to you with a grain of salt. Mind you, I'm asking you as an audience, would New York City Police Department would give someone like me, someone claims that I'm not who I say I am? Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Just think about it. Why would NYPD give me a piece of valid identification if I didn't say who I was? Mind you, because they fact check everything. Because lying on an application is a felony too in the state of New York. Did you know that? Yeah, it's a violation. Lying on your application and lying to the police is a felony. So don't do it. But ladies and gentlemen, like I said, pay attention to the narrative. Why would NYPD give me access to all these places and a city press pass if I wasn't who I say I was? Think about it. Be smart this time. Don't be fooled by some Swedish punk Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Why would NYPD give me a piece of identification if I didn't prove who I was or anything I did? They want to know if you have an LLC, have you ever worked for the news media before, have you ever did any journalist work, are you current a photographer with a license, do you have a current website, do you have any work to prove? Mind you, do you have any work to prove who you say who you are? That's the questions they're going to ask you. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, NYPD couldn't just arrest me if I was lying. Right? Wait, I let the train go by. So as I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'm going to say this for the last time for the record. Why would NYPD give me a New York City press credential identification if I didn't prove who I was? Because if I didn't prove who I was, I should not have gotten a New York City press identification. Right? Because it's law. Mind you, I can show you the application process. And mind you, it's not a 24-hour application approval. It's actually you have to do the work, and they have to overlook your application. It could take 6 months, it could take 8 months, but for my case, it only took 2 months. And this is why the captain from the headquarters from NYPD was like, "How the hell did you get it in 2 months, bro?" I was like, "I already had all the credentials. I already had the work. I already had the LLC. I already had the work. I already had the websites. I already had proven everything. And not only that, I was already covering New York City events before this incident happened. So therefore, when it was asking me for these 7 events, I was like, I already have 8 of these events. I can do maybe 6 more fresh ones, and mind you, or 7 fresh ones, and provide them 15. So that's what I did. He goes, so you already had work. I said, like I said, I already had the work. I already covered some of these events in New York City. Like, that's why I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a filmmaker. I'm a documentarian. I'm a photographer. I'm a consultant. And I proved everything. My identification with NYPD. I proved my mind you, my valid, at the time, the valid application for the LLC. I proved in that, I proved the website, I proved everything. And I got approved. Keep that in mind. I got approved. So, if you want to believe some Swedish douchebag, just go ahead. But, ladies and gentlemen, he has nothing. He can't prove a piece of identification that he worked for a studio. Mind you, we proved that we worked for a studio, several studios in the past on this channel. Even got some day labor work from the studios. But you know what? I digress. Actually, the last studio job, it was last year? I was with these Japanese, what is it? What's the production? 44 Productions. Yeah, I was with these guys. If you ever seen one of my summer live streams, I made a short clip of we were in a green screen. Mind you, gotta pay attention to my live streams. But no one wants to pay attention to it because everyone wants you to think that it never happened. But it did happen. And I think I know which video it is too. Because it's actually a log. The log shows what I was doing that summer. But, ladies and gentlemen, take everything what you hear and what you hear with a grain of salt. I am a licensed documentarian filmmaker and documentarian. License. That carry a New York City credential. I even hold a Wisconsin license credential, press credential. You remember that? I even had a state of Oregon press pass. You can remember that. Those are being approved by the city, which is approved by the state. I wish people would understand this very clearly before they make false allegations and slandering and defamation. But with that said, everyone, it's early in the morning, and I want to make the record straight. And you guys can verify these claims. Just all you have to do is go to the NYPD and website and check it yourself, and you're gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that." This is why people, the photographers in the city and the filmmakers, well, most of the photographers, when they try to possess the pass, they're like, "Oh wow, this is a long process. Then I'm gonna have to wait months." Like, yeah, if you don't have everything that you already have. But like I said, if you're already a professional photographer, filmmaker, and you have all the credentials, you have all the documents, you have everything to prove, to see that you might be able to possess one and you contribute back to your city, they may just give you one. Mind you, this is my second year. Well, not my second year. This is my second time with the pass, because mind you, we got it in 2023. We renewed it, and we just renewed it this year in 2025. So, and it's good up to 2027. That's right, it's good up to 2027. So that's a 2-year valid identification. And yes, there are different colors and different colors for different stats. So you may get a high, you may get a lower stat, which that's the case your first time around. Keep that in mind. And they will change the color over time if you provide the work, ladies and gentlemen, because they're going to look at your work. They may use your work for billboards around the city. Okay? They may use it, they may not. Depends. This is why I tell you, everybody, take good video, take good photos, and submit them. And the city may use it, and they will credit you, because they have to. It's by law. They have to make sure that the copyright holder, yourself, is credited and also, you know, being represented as a city contributor to the city. But I digress, everyone. What's up? Hi, konnichiwa. Konbanwa. Or ohayo. Konnichiwa. Yeah. But anyway, everyone. Oh, it's one of those days, huh? Sunday. But with that said, everyone, let's just walk through the subway. But once again, I want to say thank you to Michael and Phil for the last 5 days. Now, we gotta find breakfast. But yeah. So I actually, on Friday, I actually contacted my last employer. I need them to do something for me, and I'm not sure if they're gonna respond yet, because they haven't responded yet. But it's about this ongoing situation about harassment calls. I want them to tell the law office that, like, to send them all the incoming logs, because that's what they need. They want to see how many times and where's the. They're gonna. Cell phone, mind you, people don't understand. Like, if you're using a cell phone, you're using the internet, it can be tracked. You're leaving a breadcrumb around, okay? You always leave breadcrumbs. When you make a mistake, and even on cell phones, it can triangulate where the fucking phone call came from originally. Even if they use the internet phone service, it's tracked. Everything is accounted for. This is why when FBI agents or government agents do their work and they want to build up a case, they make sure they do their homework. They make sure they find every piece of evidence, and they make sure it's linked to you. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, everything that we do on the internet and everything we see on the internet is going to follow us for the rest of our lives. So keep that in mind, including my videos. It's going to follow me for the rest of my life, because I already know. I'm in New York. I'm in the subway. Is it obvious? I don't even have my identification badge on because it's in my backpack. And I'm not going to put it on. I want to see how many people, how many New Yorkers actually know their rights. Because none of them do. I walk down the street every day, everyone. And people are like, please don't record me. I'm like, ma'am, you're on a public sidewalk. Do you know the statute of New York City? You know I have the right to record, right? It's a one consent state. I don't need to ask anyone in the city permission, especially when the New York City Press conditional identification. Uphold your First Amendment rights. And flexing hard as a journalist. I gotta wait till 9 o'clock. I'm gonna go back to my storage and continue to fix my wagon because they're gonna need it for the 21st. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I'm hosting an event with my friends. We're gonna do a skate and giveaway for the little kids at the skate park. So on June 21st, at 2 p.m., I will be going live stream at the skate park here in New York City for the little kids. But we're going to need your help. We're probably going to need another grill. I'm sure we are going to need another grill. So if anyone wants to contribute to that, there's a PayPal, Cash App, Venmo down in the description below. And we're probably going to need other supplies, like extra water, because it's going to be, from what I'm looking at the weather, it's going to be a very, very hot day. So we don't want the kids to be dehydrated. So I'm going to try to provide as much Gatorade as possible, as much water, and it's going to be fun. Now, if you guys want to contribute to that, that's up to you. You're not forced to contribute to any of my activities or anything we are trying to do to the city. Because what I'm trying to do and trying to provide, ladies and gentlemen, is some comfort. Give these kids some positive motivation this summer. Give them a hobby to do. So that's what we are doing. And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, we also have July 25th. It's the Skate Film Festival that we are also going to be doing that for 2 days. We even have an after party location. So that's great. And then right after that is my 47th, oops, I wrote 48. My 47th birthday. Because Yuki's turning 48 as well. Well, she's turning 48. So, but Square and Nassau Avenue because of scheduled maintenance. For service, use the Fairfield shuttle bus. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I just discussed with you are matters that have been taking place. I've also discussed with you that don't listen to people when they don't understand or don't even live in this country. Don't listen to people when they tell you something about me because they have no idea. And yes, I'm aware, like I said in the beginning of this video. Like I said in the beginning of this video. Folks, I'm aware of what he's doing. He's not harming me, he's harming himself. He's making himself look stupid. So, ladies and gentlemen, let him continue to make himself look stupid. While I prove to you why he's stupid. Because I can get an NYPD captain right now on this live stream and confirm everything that I just said about owning an NYPD press credential pass. Because it is issued by NYPD. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to the narrative. If you want real stories, you follow me. You subscribe to this channel. You want to see real things go on in real time, transparency? You subscribe to this channel. Because this channel has a lot to provide. A sense of comfort and a sense of reality. What is really going on in this goddamn city. So with that said, everyone, take care. I'm gonna try to find me some food, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Oh yeah, let me give a shout out to Craze. And shout out to Craze Pizza NYC for hooking it up the other day with the vegan slices. Holy, did you see this, guys? Look at this.
Okay, we got some vegan pizza from Craze. I just want you guys to take a good look at these pizzas. Shut your mouth.
Dude. Thank you, Craze NYC Pizzas, for hooking it up the other day, bro. That was really, really something. Guys, you see the love that I get from the city, from people that actually do watch my content? See that? That's called love, baby. Yeah. So, with that said, what else I can show you? Recently, all the files are. And then yeah, that's it. Not much to show you other than yeah. But with that said, everyone, have a good morning and take care of yourselves, everyone, and please be smarter. Don't listen to someone that is literally trying to convince you. Mind you, I understand, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I understand your concerns and this is gonna hurt me, but it's not. It's not gonna hurt me. I live my life, I got my work skills, I got my credentials, I got a resume that will blow his mind out the water. Mind you, I can blow him out the water anytime. But mind you, everyone, that I speak Japanese, some Korean, and some French, and being bilingual is not something you should make fun of. Being bilingual is a talent. I don't understand why he's making fun of me speaking other languages. It's a talent, not a fucking not a hop. I don't get it. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you speak another language, you should be proud of yourself. It takes talent and skills and practice. So.